Okay guys, we're here at the beach. Had to put my shades on because it's so bright.
These questions are gonna be...
Okay, so question number 1 is, was the first year of marriage actually really hard?
Honestly, like everything about like the first year of marriage, I mean, we've been together 10 years, like basically prior to the whole marriage deal. So, I mean, I think we got lucky enough to already have that basically baggage out before marriage, and now it's kind of like this whole beach right here. It's like our relationship now is just cruising, and there isn't really much else to say about how the first year went besides, in my opinion, really good.
That was actually a really good answer, but I did want to add on that. In my opinion, I think the only thing that was really hard was I lost my job, and then I started up at my old job, but the money didn't come in until the end of April, I think, or something. So basically we were living off of his money for like a month and a half. And then on top of that, it was really hard because water heater broke in our apartment. So then we had to live in a hotel, and we had to buy food, like fast food and like just stuff like that. We had to always eat out because we lived in a hotel and there was like no like fridge or like stove or anything. But we got through it, and first year was not as hard as people were making it out to be. We are just exploring. Guys, look at this view right
Me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so next question. Did you have a timeline for marriage in your mind before you got married? Yes, that's an easy question to answer because I knew that I wanted to get married at 25. Was it a good wait there?
I think so.
Was it the right age?
I think it was the right age with the amount of time that we've been together. You can also say that like maybe 30 is a perfect age because that's when you have your crap together. That's when you usually have your career set, your jobs, or no longer jobs, you have a career. So there is really no right time to get married, in my opinion. I think it's better to have a couple years under your belt with that same person so you can actually see how they are when they're sad, when they're actually sad, or when they're actually frustrated about a certain situation. And so that way you get to be like, okay, like let's work on it together instead of fighting each other without even knowing, because you don't know how to handle those kind of situations. But 25 was the perfect year for both of us because we had those hardships. We grew independently. We grew together, like, so in my opinion, it was a perfect time and it was worth the wait.
Oh, that was like such a good answer because I remember when we were going out and people were like, we had been going out for a long time, and people would always say like, oh, well, why aren't you married yet? Like, and that bothered me for some weird reason because I was like, it's my timeline. Like, if I want to get married tomorrow, I'll get married tomorrow, you know? But I want to wait. Take a drag of my cigarette, bring me out. The next question that we have here today is advice for newlyweds. This was actually great advice that I heard on a podcast before I got married, was just to be silent. And I know that that sounds like weird, like what do you mean, just be silent? I mean, like, if your partner is telling you how they feel about something, just be quiet and listen to them and listen to what they're telling you and let them know that you're listening, you know. And at the end of the conversation, when they're done letting out however they feel, letting go, you're so funny, letting go of all their emotions, then just be like, okay, I hear you, and this is where I'm coming from, and just have an honest conversation. Me and Diego actually did that the other day. We had an honest conversation about something, and at the end of it I was like, you know what, if more people did this, had an honest conversation, then there'd be a lot less divorce in the world.
Advice for newlyweds is don't die on really old 2x4s. But for the advice for the newlyweds, everything that she basically said is something that I would recommend as well. Understand that also that person needs to be independent as well, even in a relationship. Like, what I mean by that is, like, you know, me and Elisa, we love each other and all that stuff, and we spend a lot of time with each other. But since I work nights and she works days, there's that little gap of where we spend a couple hours by ourselves, and sometimes, most of the time, you kind of need those hours that you're by yourself, because then that way you can just kind of unwind and just kind of, like, you know, just relax. Like, I do believe that having time for yourself is probably also the most important thing, alongside with communication and honesty, and love God too.
So, one last question before we go. This is the last one of today. The last question is, how did you know that they were the one?
The first thing I noticed was her smile, and then her butt.
That's all.
I think when I knew that she was the one, I think, like I said previously, it sounds pretty cheesy, but when I did first see her, I just had this click. It just, like, for some reason, no one else that I looked at before. I never had any interest in anybody before her. And literally the first time that she walked into class, I just had this weird click feeling that said, hey, I know you're not really interested in nobody ever, but this is gonna be the person that you spend the rest of your life with. It took me 2 years to finally, like...
Well, okay, so yeah, it did take me a while to finally realize that he was the one. I know, that's sad, but there was a story to it. So basically, I'll buckle up in a minute. Basically,
we like to live on the edge.
I think when I knew that he was the one was, we were a senior in high school, and
No, I'm just kidding.
we were a senior in high school, and I had, the night before, there was a family, like, situation that had happened the night before, and I had to show up to school, because if it were me, I wouldn't have gone to school after that situation happened, but I had to go to school because it was finals week. And so I had to go to school, and I was walking up to go meet him at the stairs at our school, and when he was standing there, and I looked at him and I told him what happened, and I just started, like, bawling, and my eyes were just crying. Like, I was crying so hard. And instead of him being like, you know, oh, like, what do I do in this situation, like, making it feel kind of awkward, he just hugged me, and, like, hugged me tight and just let me cry. So that was when I knew, like, for sure 100% knew that he was the one. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. We had fun today, and if you would like to see him more, subscribe, because we are going to do 12 days of Vlogmas this year, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. I have all the videos planned and everything, and I have the week before Christmas off, so that means that I'll probably be able to finish this year all the 12 videos. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers. But anyways, so make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!